And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
A decade ago, I kind of found a resurgence into board games. Played a lot of interesting new board games. I played board games my whole life, but found so many new ones. And here's one that really just got me back into the hobby. I really enjoyed this one, Dragon's Gold. This was in a line of Blue Games. This is my favorite of that line. Unfortunately, Descartes went out of business. The Blue Games line, well, so far gone. However, White Goblin loves me and brought it back in this nice tin. Now, you can see obviously already that I like this game. I love this game. Talk about a game of negotiation. Oh. So let's take a look closer at the game and see why I enjoy it so very much. And the new version, while it doesn't change much from the original, does make the components just a wee bit nicer. The game comes with a lot of components, but one of the things I've noticed that White Goblin's been doing these days is they include all the rule books for the extra languages, that's fine, but they also include all these cards for other languages. That's amazing, the amount of stuff you get in a game that you really don't need. Anyway, what we're going to do is concentrate on what is in the game. Now, as the game progresses, each player is going to get a set of hero cards, which they're going to place in front of themselves. You have a wizard, a thief, and 2 knights. And each of them has a value of 1 through 4. The wizard and the thief also have special powers. Players also get a shield, and I have to say, of everything in the game, this is the one thing that the new components aren't as nice as the original ones. I really like these nice little shields that you had. But the new shields, I mean, they're functional. You're going to place one of those in front of you, and that's where you're going to keep all your treasures hidden. Now, let's look at these dragons here in the middle of the table. Each dragon has 3 values on it. You can see here, this one has a value of 6, and then has a 3 and a 3. The 6 is how strong the dragon is. 3 means he has 3 treasures that everybody can see, and he has 3 hidden treasures that will be revealed when that dragon is killed. In this game, dragons are always being killed, constantly. In fact, your turn is very simple. On your turn, you take one of your heroes, and place them attacking one of the dragons. And each of the players is going to play their heroes on the different dragons. Now, when you place a hero, and the combined sum of all the heroes on that dragon is more than the number on that dragon, then that dragon is dead. Everyone shouts a mighty huzzah, and then from a bag you will reveal 3 more treasures which you'll place on it. So, for example, here we see 2 more silvers and a blue. Incidentally, for those of you who played the original game, these treasures are still discs like the original one, but you can see that they're quite a bit bigger. And bigger is better, and they don't roll off the table quite as much. But anyway, these are the treasures that you are now going to divide between the players. Now, there's some special rules here in regards to wizards. If you have a wizard down and at a battle and there's any red ones, he automatically gets the red ones, as long as he's the only wizard there. Other than that, though, this is the most fascinating part of the game to me. And that is, you have a timer. And this timer will be put into play. And then any player involved in that, in this instance it's only 2 players, the yellow and the green knight, but it could be multiple players. They have, as long as this timer runs out, and I believe it's 45 seconds, to come up with a deal dividing those gems. Can't use anything from the past, can't make any future promises. Right here, right now, who gets what? So I say, okay, I get these, and you get these, is that okay? And the other guy says, no, I want one of the silvers. You can have 2 silvers and a blue, is that good? And I'm like, no. And we're getting a little frantic, because if we don't do it by the time that the sand comes out of this timer, then nobody gets anything. And it's quite possible to fold your arms and say, forget it, I'm not trading with you. And that's possible. And where there's groups of 3 or more, it can get more difficult. Now, what do all these different things mean? Do the colors have anything? Well, yes. There's basic and advanced scoring rules. We're going to talk about advanced because that's what really matters. The silver and golds, and the reds for that matter, they're just worth points. Silvers and reds are worth 1 point. Golds are worth 3 points. So golds obviously are something a lot of people want. Then there are 5 other colors involved in the match. They're white, purple, yellow, green, and blue. By themselves, they're worth nothing, but if you have the most at the end of the game in any of these colors, you're going to get a certain number of points depending on how many players are in the game, and for which you have a card which tells you all this. So, for example, in a 4-player game, whoever has the most of each color gets 10 points. That's a big deal. Also, if you have a set of all 5, that's an extra 5 points. So, that's in the game. But then there is this black diamond, and that's worth 19 points in the advanced game. However, if you have the black diamond, then you can't score any points for these colors. You can get points for the gold and the silver and the reds, but that's it. So it's very interesting. Another interesting thing that the advanced game adds, and you really should play with, is that when a wizard manages to get his hands on some of these red, that those red things are magic items, and you draw a magic card from the top of this deck, which you can place and play sometime during the game whenever it says. For example, instant copier, take a magic item card that someone else just discarded, put it in your hand, and if someone plays an adventurer, you can make them go back to that person. Here's a +1 sword that adds +1 to one of your knights. My favorite is this card here, the Invisible Hand, which lets you secretly steal tokens from the middle of the table as long as no one catches you. Now, after you kill the knight, after you kill the dragon, any heroes that you sent come and are face down in front of you, and you can't use them to use the rest of your people. If anybody in that negotiation had a thief, after it's over, they can reach behind the screen of one of the other people involved and steal one from them. And then the dragon's discarded, and a new dragon comes out, and more treasures placed, etc., etc. Halfway through the game, a market card will come up, and then you turn the timer over, and everybody has a chance to trade jewels one with another. After either all the jewels run out, or you kill all the dragons, and it's going to be all the jewels running out, then you simply total up all the points using the scorecard for help, either going by the basic scoring rules or the advanced scoring rules, and whoever has the most points is the winner. Dragon's Gold is a game I really enjoy, mostly because of the sheer negotiation in the game. You got to negotiate now, and of course, any game like this could be ruined by someone who's just poor at negotiation. So be forewarned. Someone who's not really good at doing that, or just maybe they're kind of a jerk in these kind of situations, you might avoid. But it's a lot of fun, especially the 3-way and even 4-way negotiations, because there are people who will give a better deal up just so the time doesn't run out. I've seen people say, here's a deal, and the other person says, no, I don't want that deal. And the other person says, that's the only deal I'll accept. And then the first person says, well, all right, then I guess it's a deal, because they wanted something better than nothing. And against new players, I will win this game more often than not even trying that hard to win, but just because you know the different values, and you can kind of gauge what's better than what. There's some jewels that there's fewer of, like for example, there's fewer whites than there is blue, and knowing that makes the whites more valuable. That black one, whenever it shows up, causes total chaos in negotiations, because it is worth 19 points. But then you don't get all these other points, and you have to, negotiate. And then when someone does get the black gem, then for the rest of the game, people are like, well, I don't want to give him this because he already has that many points. And it's a very interesting thing. The cards add a lot to it. You've got to play by the advanced rules. This is a great game. It's been due for a reprint. I'm glad someone's reprinted it. And if you've never played this before and you like negotiation right now with a little bit of pressure, this is the best.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.